Okay, this is your morning brief for Friday, January 25th. Let's start off with Intel. Intel really ended the semis party yesterday in after hours. They reported an okay quarter, but not good enough for the market. Revenue was only 18.6 billion. Analysts were expecting 19 billion. Okay. And they did beat on the bottom line. Of course, guidance is always a huge factor in these things. And they did guide downwards. They're only expecting 87 cents in the next quarter versus expectations of 1% right now from the street. And revenue of 16 billion instead of 17.3 that the street is expecting at the moment. So okay, so you know what? That's a normal move down. It was down 3% for the day. 6% in after hours, but I said net against, they were up 3 yesterday as we had a huge semis party yesterday. It was so much fun. We had LRCX, a name we cover, Lam Research. They do the kind of the wafers. They don't actually make the chips, but they sell the wafers that the chip makers use to build their chips on. And it was up 15% yesterday. And Xilinx was up 18.4%. Micron was up 6.9%. There was a number of other ones that were up, mostly on, Xilinx and Lam Research, and those ones were actually producing their reports. So then we saw Intel, as I said, in the aftermarket get just killed. And I thought that was going to have a little contagion effect on the rest of the semis here. And they were party was gonna end, but you know what? They're doing okay. They barely moved in after hours. I'm looking at Micron this morning. It's actually up 2.3% in pre-market. Xilinx is about flat, down just a fraction, and Lam Research is up about 1% in pre-market. So even though there was a big buzzkill with Intel, it really hasn't spilled over. So that's great news. There's a few articles out there about, still time to get in the semis, and I would agree with that. These semis have been absolutely killed, except for Intel. If you look back, let's call it a 3-month period, they were just absolutely getting killed. And everyone thought things were going to, a cyclical downturn, which, they might go in a little bit of a downturn. But I just don't think things are as bad in the short run as people were thinking. And in the long run, this looks as good as ever. This 5G that's coming down the pipe, which I'd say we're about a good year away from really feeling the effects of it. But that's really what you're buying these for. And I'd say get in early. Okay, in other news, Colgate revenue fell 2.1% and adjusted EPS fell 3%. They did beat estimates, but sometimes when you go the wrong way from their previous year, shares go down anyways, even if you beat. And that's what's happening here. Shares are down a little bit in Colgate. We still like Colgate. It's a great company. It's a steady one. So even this is not a big miss, and the shares are only down 2% or something. So it's a buy and hold, good dividend. It's one you buy for a long run. So if you're a little short on consumer discretionary or staples, you should maybe pick up some Colgate. By the way, Procter & Gamble Rival had a pretty good release a few weeks ago. Maybe it was only a couple of days ago. I know it was recent. I kind of like Procter & Gamble just a little bit over Colgate right now. We're splitting hairs here, really splitting hairs. It's just that Colgate kind of went through a not a reorg, but they rationalized some of their brands and sold some things off, and the market was not liking that, but I was pretty okay with it, because that often get rid of some of the stuff that's not working that well, get some cash in for it, and kind of reinvent yourself a little bit. And market sees they're struggling, and that's true, but you got a clean house. They cleaned house, seems to be working. I kind of like Procter & Gamble just slightly over Colgate. All right, and lastly, futures are up, so pretty decent number up to. So let's see, let me get a little bit current number. And it looks like, Nasdaq's up 1.07%. Dow's up 0.76. That's pretty big for futures. So, yeah, we should have a good close on Friday, January 25th.